I caught my husband having a virtual affair. The messages I found broke me. I never thought I'd be the person to discover something like this, but here I am, feeling like my whole world has been turned upside down. My husband and I have been married for 10 years, and for most of that time, I believed we had a strong, trusting relationship. We've had our ups and downs, like any couple, but I never imagined he was hiding something so big from me. It all started when I noticed he was spending a lot more time playing his favorite online multiplayer game. At first, I thought it was just a harmless hobby, but then I started to see him texting late into the night. Sometimes sneaking away to another room to reply. I didn't think much of it until one day I accidentally saw a message pop up on his screen from someone named B. The messages weren't just friendly, they were flirty, intimate, and sometimes downright romantic. Curious and hurt, I started paying closer attention, and what I found shocked me. Their game characters were romantically linked, and they role-played intimate scenarios together. They shared personal thoughts, even reading each other's journals, which felt like a betrayal deeper than just words. I felt overwhelmed, embarrassed, and confused, wondering if this counted as cheating or something worse. When I finally confronted my husband, he insisted the relationship was purely platonic, that B was just a friend, but his reassurances didn't ease my pain. I could see he was hiding something, and the fact that he dismissed my feelings made it worse. I felt like I was losing him to someone I'd never even met in real life. I reached out to B in a message, telling her I was his wife and that I was hurt and angry, but my husband deleted the message before she could read it. They continued to communicate secretly, and I felt more betrayed than ever. I ended up staying with my parents for the weekend, trying to process the embarrassment and sadness. My self-esteem took a huge hit, especially after having a baby recently, and I worried about starting over with no financial security. In a heartbreaking turn, my husband suggested we try an open relationship, which made me realize how far apart we had drifted. I couldn't imagine sharing him with someone else after everything, and I knew I had to make a choice. I decided to leave. Feeling heartbroken, isolated, but determined to protect myself and my child. Since leaving, I've been trying to piece my life back together. The pain of betrayal still lingers, but I'm learning to focus on myself and my child. I've started therapy to help process the emotions and rebuild my self-worth. The hardest part is trusting again. Not just others, but also my own judgment. I keep replaying moments in my head, wondering if there were signs I missed or if I could have done something differently, but I know deep down that the fault lies with him. My husband reached out a few times, apologizing and asking for another chance, promising to cut off all contact with B and to work on our marriage, but I'm hesitant. I don't know if I can go back to someone who betrayed me so deeply. The idea of an open relationship still haunts me, and I'm not sure if we even want the same things anymore. I want a partner I can trust fully, someone who values our family above all else. Friends and family have been supportive, reminding me that my feelings are valid and that I deserve honesty and respect. They've helped me see that leaving was a brave and necessary step, even if it feels like the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm slowly rebuilding my confidence and learning to set boundaries. I've also reconnected with hobbies and interests I'd neglected, which gives me a sense of identity beyond being a wife or mother. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever fully heal or find love again, but I'm hopeful. I know that I'm stronger than I realize, and that I deserve happiness and peace. Sharing my story here is part of that healing. And I hope it helps others who might be going through something similar. No one should have to feel invisible or betrayed in their own home, and sometimes walking away is the first step toward finding yourself again. I've been focusing on building a new life for myself and my child, taking small steps each day to regain my independence and confidence. I enrolled in classes to improve my skills and started looking for a job that would allow me to support us both. It's been challenging balancing everything, but every accomplishment, no matter how small, feels like a victory. I'm learning to trust my instincts again and to prioritize my well-being. My husband and I have had a few conversations since the separation, mostly about logistics and co-parenting. We agreed to keep things civil for the sake of our child, but emotionally, there's still a lot of distance between us. I don't know if reconciliation is possible or even something I want anymore. The hurt runs deep, and forgiveness feels like a long way off. I've also found comfort in connecting with others who have been through similar experiences. Sharing stories and advice has helped me feel less alone and more understood. It's empowering to see how many people have faced betrayal and come out stronger on the other side. I'm slowly realizing that my worth is not defined by someone else's actions, and that healing is possible. While the future remains uncertain, I'm hopeful. I'm determined to create a life filled with honesty, respect, and love, whether that means moving forward alone or eventually finding a partner who truly values me. For now, I'm focusing on myself and my child, embracing the freedom to rebuild and rediscover who I am. Thank you for listening to my story, and I hope it offers hope to anyone facing similar pain. You're not alone, and better days are ahead. Story 2. My husband had a secret family. I only found out when his sister called me with update. I always thought my marriage was solid. We had been together for 7 years, and while we had our share of arguments, nothing ever seemed out of the ordinary. My husband, Tom, worked in sales and traveled a lot for work. Sometimes he'd be gone for a week at a time, but I trusted him. He was attentive when he was home, always brought me little gifts from his trips, and never gave me a reason to doubt him. About 3 months ago, I got a call from a woman who introduced herself as Tom's sister. She sounded frantic and said she needed to talk to Tom urgently. I told her he was out of town on business, but she insisted it was an emergency. Something about her tone made me uneasy, so I asked her what was wrong. She hesitated, then blurted out, "He's supposed to pick up the kids from school. I can't get them, and their mom is stuck at work." My heart dropped. I asked her what she meant, and she went silent. After a few seconds, she hung up. I tried calling Tom, but his phone went straight to voicemail. I spent the whole night tossing and turning, replaying the conversation in my head. The next morning, I called the number back, but it was disconnected. I tried to convince myself it was a wrong number or a misunderstanding, but deep down, I knew something was off. When Tom got home 2 days later, I confronted him. At first, he denied everything, said it was probably a scammer or someone trying to mess with us, but I could see the panic in his eyes. He was sweating, fidgeting, and wouldn't look me in the eye. I pressed him, told him exactly what the woman had said, and finally, he broke down. He confessed that he had another family in a nearby city. He had 2 kids with another woman, and he'd been living a double life for almost 5 years. He said he never meant to hurt me, that he loved me. But things got out of control, and he didn't know how to stop. I felt like the world was spinning. I couldn't breathe. I screamed at him, demanded to know everything. I wanted every detail, every lie, every secret. He told me that he met the other woman before we got married, that she got pregnant, and he felt obligated to stay involved. He tried to break things off with her, but every time he did, she would threaten to tell me. He said he never stopped loving me, that I was his real family, but he couldn't abandon his kids. He spent years juggling both lives, making up business trips to visit them, using work as a cover for his absences. I packed a bag and left that night. I stayed with my sister for a week, barely eating or sleeping. My phone was flooded with messages from Tom, begging me to come home, promising to fix everything. I ignored him. I didn't know what to do. I felt betrayed, humiliated, and completely lost. I've been sitting with this information for almost 2 weeks now, and I still don't know how to proceed. My husband has been in what seems like a committed relationship with another woman, and he's playing happy families with her and her 3 sons. They're even planning on having a baby. A week ago, I stumbled on a TikTok account of this lady sharing her recipes, and in the background, I recognized my husband's back. I wasn't too sure at first, But after taking a real good look, as his wife I know, that fool's neck, back, legs, and the clothing he was wearing, so I went looking through her posted videos just to piece together a confirmation of it really being my husband. I continued to keep an eye on him and his movements, but he seemed normal. It's clear to me now that he has his cheating down to a science. Every time he went on his work trips, she'd post these videos saying she's cooking a new recipe because her man is coming back from his work trip. She'd plate the food up and I'd recognize his grubby hands by their look and the way he'd hold the cutlery. He has a peculiar way of holding it. Kind of looks like a Neanderthal discovering forks and knives. I can't believe this bastard has been with her for 3 years. I don't know how he found the time to start an entire relationship on the side. I thought we were happy. He tells me he loves me all the time, always brings me a gift from his work trips. When he's home, we have a great adult life and pretty much do the deed 4 to 6 times a week. We talk all the time. We've been married for 21 years and we have 2 daughters. We lost our eldest son 10 years ago, but we worked through it and got closer than ever before. We are even due to have our 22nd anniversary and it's his turn to plan it. We alternate who plans the anniversary each year. I know he's been planning an elaborate party for us, so why is he cheating? I am so angry and don't know what steps to take. I am utterly distraught. I thought we were happy. I thought he loved our little life. I feel like I can't think, and I barely know where to start. I can barely focus. I nearly burned my kitchen down because I literally spaced out and forgot that I was cooking. I've been downloading all her TikToks and screenshotting everything she has posted on her Instagram. I have also been collecting all our bank statements, but I can't find anything incriminating at this point. I'm thinking he has a secondary bank account I don't know of, and he's probably having the post delivered at his office or at his mistress's house. I'm actually considering hiring a private investigator to do a deep dive since I can't find any other evidence of his cheating.